Kristen Whitner, that's NewsStand, and I want to go over Batman Urban Legend. Now, there is a lot to this, but I will say this is a strong start for every single one of these, except one, but that could just be because it's not my cup of tea, and that's okay. But I really enjoyed this. Now, it is mostly about Jason Todd so far, and that's totally okay with me. Great. Like, I knew when Chip Zdarsky came over to write Batman, to write Jason, it was going to be fantastic. I just didn't realize I would love it this much. Now, there's also 3 backup stories. One is The Outsiders, one is Harley Quinn and Ivy, and one is the Grifter story. Now, I want to talk specifically about them a little bit in each of them, but Outsiders has never been one of my favorite storylines. I like The Outsiders. I like Brian Edward Hill's run, mainly because I think he is a great professional. But I will say that, it wasn't my favorite story. It definitely wasn't great, but it was good. Now, then again, it's never been my favorite story. But the other 3 backup stories, and I want to talk about all of them a little bit, were fantastic. But first, let's get into the Jason Todd story, the main story, which is the Urban Legend. Now, I want to say spoilers. Every review I do, for the most part, will always be spoilers. So, for this one, we have Chip Zdarsky and Eddy Barrows, I don't know this person, Eber Fuera, artist, beautiful, wonderfully done art. Now, basically, we're getting this story, and it's funny because now looking back at Infinite Frontier, I realized what Jason was holding, and they're called cherry pops. It is a new drug that has came to Gotham, and basically it gives you a sense of euphoria. And really, honestly, what it does is give you this sense of euphoria to the point where you have lost all sense of reality. And what I mean by that is by losing your sense of reality, you are willing to do anything. Like, think that jumping off of a building is a roller coaster, and we'll get there. Now, I do love this little blast from the past. At first, when I was looking at this, I was like, I might, when I just glimpsed through it, I was like, why is Damian here? Well, that's okay. But I thought Damian, this is a continuity story. So I thought Damian was off. And then I realized it literally says right there then. So we get a little bit of little Jason Todd, and he's kind of always pushed back. And I think that's really what they wanted to show, and kind of show that he didn't really want to practice. And he loves guns. Now, not necessarily loves guns, but I do like Batman's explanation as to why he has so many guns. He needs to know them inside and out. He's the world's greatest detective. He needs to know everything. And then he calls it a coward's weapon. Well, I would beg to differ, but that doesn't matter for the point of the story. And this is where I said, this man is on these cherry pops. Did I say drops? Cherry pops. And he thinks he's on a roller coaster with his dad. Look at this art. Absolutely stunning. I really, really enjoyed this. But we see, Batman, of course, save him. Now, these are what they look like, if you remember from Infinite Frontier, where it showed, just a little bit. But we see Jason is chasing a perp, and he's trying to find out where they are originating from. Cut it off at the head. And my God, if I couldn't say that this part of the story was amazing. Now, Jason walks in. He thinks he knows where the drugs are coming from. And we see this woman. She's got a smile across her face, right? And this little boy, oh, God, it's about to get emotional up in here, is crying for his mother. His mother to wake up. Apparently, Google...
When's the alarm for?
I didn't say anything about an alarm. All right, Google wants to have somebody wake up too. But we see Jason amazingly do wonderfully with this little boy. And, being an orphan himself, his mother dying of an overdose, his dad being a piece of shit. He understands what it's like. He goes, okay, she's just asleep. She's just asleep, kid. She's in a coma. But, what's your name? His name is Tyler. His fucking name is Tyler. It's my brother's name. I love that, though. Oh, that was so cute. And we see, he says they're going to get her help. And basically, he could, at this point, just hand this kid over to the police. And he doesn't. He takes the kid. He's looking for his dad, Andy. He takes the kid and he's going to find Andy instead of giving this kid over to the system, right? Because he's been in the system. He knows what that's like. So he comes to Oracle to trace a number. And we see a kind of a wonderful conversation here. I really like Alfred. Wait. Oh my God, I'm retarded. I just realized Alfred was in this storyline. Wait. No, he's not. That was a blast from the past. Okay. Had to work that out in my head there. I'm confused. Okay, we'll get there in a second. But basically, they're both hunting down these cherry pups, right? And they say, they think it's Crane. And apparently they think Crane is dead. Now, we all know otherwise from reading Batman 106 that he is fully alive and working with Mayor Nakano. But they're working on these these cherry pops. They're both working on them separately. Oracle, being a normal person, would think them working together would be better. And he's like, no, he's a killer. I'm not going to work with them. Right. Okay. Then. Okay. That makes so much more sense. I'm sorry. I was so confused for a second. I was like, why did I not realize Alfred was back alive? But he's not. This is a blast from the past, right? So I really like this, though. Alfred really puts it into perspective for Bruce that Jason is his son, that he needs saved, but Jason has a right to be mad. He was an orphan. He was murdered. The person that murdered him, you let go over and over and over again. He looks at you like, how could you do that to me, right? And he says, Bruce Wayne needs to save him instead of Batman trying to fight him. I really, really like that. Please, bring back Alfred. Bring back Alfred. We had death metal. Where is he? Anyways, let's keep moving. So we see Jason and he's with Tyler. He's like, almost, buddy. I fucking love it. I love it so much. But, he says his dad works at Bat Burger, so he's going to take him and he's going to help him out. Now, it's a rough neighborhood. So he does this whole you can be a superhero, kid. Come on. I bet you could. He wants to pick a name. Now, he puts his mask on him, which has a direct line to Oracle, right? So he picks and he says, look, I'll protect you, but I have to go to Batburger to find your dad. So if anybody bothers you, here's what you say. Oracle, I need help. Because he's got his mic in there. I absolutely love it. So his superhero name, because his is the Red Hood and he likes Jason, he's going to be the Blue Hood. Oh, Chip Zdarsky, if you are listening, which you're probably not, please let this come back around that we get a Blue Hood in 10 years. I know it's way down the road, but I'm just saying, come on, how cute would that be? Absolutely adorable. So we basically see Jason. He goes into this place and, obviously it is not a, it's not a Bat Burger. It is literally the whole place where the doses are made for these cherry pops, right? They are called cherry pops. I keep thinking I'm saying the name wrong. I have to look back when I'm done recording. Be my luck, I'm saying it wrong the whole time. So he finds Andy. Andy is, the dad. He chases him out. He says, stop, Jason, listen. Now, Jason is using guns, but his one compromise during this entirety is that he has to use rubber bullets. Rubber bullets do damage. They can be lethal, but, more than enough of the time, they're going to be a lot more of a better round than what we see from a regular bullet. Now, I want you to pay attention because this is where it messed me up right away. He drops his gun, okay? And Jason picks his up. He says, I have your son. His mom's in a drug coma. I came here so he didn't have to go to the state. And this guy is a complete fuck. Like, is there a better word? He's just a complete fuck. That's the best way to put it. He doesn't care about the kid. He's a pain in his ass. Him and his mother. Like, this is evil smile. I want to hit him. He doesn't give a fuck if he lives or dies. He was a whiny fucker, even though he supplied him with those cherry pops. He gave this kid drugs. Both of them were leeches. Jason's had enough. He takes the other gun he picked up that he dropped, and he shoots him multiple times through the chest. He murders him. Okay, so this brings up something I've talked about multiple times on my channel, right? Is that, does the end justify the means? This guy was a piece of shit, yeah. Would it be better to put him in penitentiary? Would it be better to put him down? I've always advocated for Batman doesn't kill. It's not, people can be saved. They're not truly evil and they can be saved. But if you think about it, as many times and as I get older, I kind of, puts it into a different perspective. Jason wouldn't have died had Batman just let him drop. Had Batman just pulled the trigger. These things wouldn't have happened. So many deaths. Think of Zaz, how many women he's killed, how many people he's killed. That could have all been prevented. So, is it okay? Or is it not? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. It's definitely got me thinking. Like, I can't say, as human as I am, that I wouldn't have done the same thing Jason did, right? Kids really get me in the heart. And yeah, talking about a child that way and knowing that you had given him drugs, yeah, I can't say I wouldn't have done the same. So then we switch over, right? And we are going to switch. Basically, he's like, oh no, what did I do? We're going to switch over to our Ivy and Harley story. Now, this started out really rough, and I'll tell you that, but it won me over. Now, the art, please take Riley Rossmo off and put Nicola Scott on. I am avoiding the Harley new relaunch because Riley Rossmo's art is stylized. Is that a nice way to say bad, terrible, cartoony, ugly? It works for stuff like Robin King. It doesn't work for Harley Quinn. This works for Harley Quinn. Now, it turned me off right away because I was like, this is not like, okay, picture talking to your boyfriend or girlfriend, or your wife or husband, whatever you want to say, and going, I usually don't engage in criminal mayhem and felonious stuff. Nobody says engage. Harley would probably be like, geez, Red, I usually don't. Okay, maybe engage is the right word. I don't know. It just came off as very try hard to me, in the sense that Stephanie Phillips is trying to sound smarter than she actually is. Honey, we don't care how smart you are as long as you write a good story. That's it. And then she says, just the way that she uses words. Not that I'm complaining or nothing. Reliving copy of his ill-gotten gains like a couple of Robin Hoods with X chromosomes is pretty romantic. No. If you're talking about Harleen Quinzel, maybe. Harley Quinn doesn't talk like that. But it did win me over. I will say that. We basically get a really sweet story of Harley in the wake of basically everything that happened with Joker War, being sad, missing Ivy. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And I love this part. Say Batman's abs are fake and definitely sewed into that suit. Fucking love it. But we see, her reliving her memories, right? And I love this. I bet I could think of a few ways to make this a fun afternoon. Ooh, I love a good innuendo. That's Harley to me. Not we're going to engage in criminal mischief with our X chromosomes. Come on, you see the difference? Like, that's Harley. Now, this breaks. She gets scared and it breaks, right? And I love this too. This is Harley. Here, her plants are trying to kill me, Red. And she's like, it's a cut, Harley, I think you'll survive. You've literally been punched and stabbed and shot. And she's crying because of her finger. I love it. That is Harley to me. See what I mean? It won me over. It was those first couple panels where you were like, trying too hard, Stephanie, trying too hard. But this is a beautiful story. And she accidentally says, I love you. That typical moment where you're like, oh my God, I love you. And you're like, oops, I shouldn't have said that. This just got awkward. And she's like, nope, I love you too. So she's going to take care of the plant that Ivy gave her, right? And it is beginning to grow. And because it was such a gift and so important to her, she does want to take care of it. Even though there's nothing else left, she says she needs to learn a little patience. She wishes Pammy was there. She's worth it. Now, I'm assuming we are going to get, it says, it continued in the pages of Harley Quinn and Batman. That's a shame. Put Nicola, or not, did I say Nicola Scott? I did the whole time. Laura Braga on the art, please. Her art is so good. Come on. All right. So this is the story I'm going to fly through. It's an outsider story. We got Katsu and Jefferson Pierce, right? They're on the run. Woo, somebody this is going to look so annoying on the screen. I apologize, but this story just, if you want to read it, go for it. Let me know if you like it. But it was like, oh my God, he transformed with, I'm not going to be able to say his name. Mephisto. Nope, I'm thinking of, oh my God, I'm thinking of Marvel. I need to get my story straight before I got my comics mixed up. Anyways, so let's talk about this story. Fucking love it. Matthew Rosenberg, thank you for bringing back the old Wildcats. I love seeing them, even if it was only momentarily. We see a very young Cole Cashier fighting against the other people in Gotham. And his brother is dead, right? He's dead now? Maybe not. I don't know. I'd have to look at the old New 52 stuff. He wearing his mask, right? And I'm assuming at this point he's going by Deadeye, right, in the beginning. But we see him, taking over. He's making some dumb choices, and it gets killed or almost killed, because then the cavalry comes in and actually changes him. And I'm assuming this is, maybe when he's unable to control the gen factor. I'm not sure, because he's making really dumb choices. But regardless, I love Grifter. I love him always around. I love it. The name, I think the original story was that his dad was basically a grifter, would take him, when he was like 6 years old, to different flea markets and stuff, and would use his kid for his grift. Get it, Grifter? It's much better than Deadeye, but I think they did change that a little bit with the New 52. But regardless, this was a really great story. Now, it made me think, now that they're bringing in more, when I talked about the guard from A-Day, maybe it could be Marlowe, but I don't think so. I don't know. It was just making me think. But the art by Ryan Benjamin is beautiful. Also, those baby blues. I love Grifter. Yeah, I would say that they are seriously wrong with stuff like this. I think Grifter is very female-centric character. Just saying. He's fucking awesome. Maybe it's just because I love him. He makes a mistake and attacks bodyguards that he's not supposed to. Now, I will say one thing I don't like that Matthew Rosenberg did was make Lucius just a complete asshat. Like, it was a $1.3 billion deal, Grifter. It just does. It feels, Lucius doesn't feel Lucius since he got the money. He doesn't. He feels very off, and I'm hoping there's a reason for that eventually going to lead into it, and I can be patient, but he just does. He feels very off. He says the mini Keisha sucks, and we get a whole lot of him being not himself. Now, this is where I love. He says, I overheard you talking to some girl the other day. Please, please, please. Have it be sell it. Bring and sell it. Bring and sell it. Bring and sell it. You know you wanna. Come on, Matthew. You can do this. I'll be your cheerleader. Just do it. Now, I loved seeing, the Gen 12, the whole team, everything, really was great about this story. Now, I will tell you my one biggest complaint, and that was the fact that we're going to see here a new squad forming of sorts, right? Okay, I want you to keep her in mind, right? We haven't seen her since Tomasi's little run where she left Victor. Okay, she hasn't been used at all. She doesn't say a single word in this book, but, and I'll just, he's going to go up against Batman and he's going to be a tough guy. Like it really, anyways, he is gonna go up against Batman. Now, I'm just gonna not bury the lead. She's dead, right? But I feel like more Lucius not being Lucius and all of that fun stuff. So we see a little bit of, here we go. She and it's leading me to believe almost the only thing I can think of. Is it supposed to make me believe that Grifter murdered her in cold blood? Because I don't believe that. I just don't. So I'm assuming we've seen it done before. We've seen it in the New 52 where he had to kill people. Wasn't it Daxamites that were basically looking like normal human beings? But hopefully it's something similar to that. If he killed her in cold blood, I'm going to be very disappointed in the character development. And if this is actually Nora, I'm going to be very disappointed because they wasted so much potential with her separate from Victor as a character that stood on her own instead of a character that was part of a duo. Now, I love those two together. They have the ultimate love story. I'm not saying that, but I find it very hard to believe that it's actually Nora or that it was, even if it is Nora, that she was killed in cold blood by Grifter. I just find it very hard to believe. So we'll have to see if it's another like Daxamite storyline or what it's going to be, but it was a great start. You got me hooked. I love me some Grifter. Bring more Wildcats. I want to see some Zealot. Now, we'll have to wait and see though. Anyways, great book. Definitely a recommend. I would say it's a 9 out of 10, just simply because of that storyline with the Outsiders. It was kind of whatever. It was what it is, right? So I will see you guys in the next one. Let me know, of course, what you guys think about this below. Make sure you subscribe, all that fun stuff. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.